Hey, good morning traders, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to do a weekend recap, monthly recap, and I just got to ask, was it any surprise that the markets were going to roll over? I don't think it was. If you were looking at all the things that I was looking at, the question was when it's going to roll over. So I wanted to start in this monthly time frame of the SPX, the S&P 500, going all the way back to the early 1900s. And I want you guys to observe this trend line. So you have this pivot top high in the 1930, you have your pivot top high in 97, or actually 99, 2000, the dot-com boom, right, or bust rather, or both, and then you had the 2021, and then you have today. So look at this trend line. Now this is in logarithmic scale, but you can see we have a 100-year trend line in place, guys. Hear that? A 100-year trend line in place. And everyone, for whatever reason, just thought we were going to bust right out. And the crazy thing is, last month, we closed above the trend line. So on the surface, you're like, wow, is this going to break down? Well, I mean, it was scary, right? Do you want to take puts into that environment? Probability say yes, you should. And I did, but I lessened the amount of puts I took and the amount of net short exposure I was, simply because we closed above this trend line. We hadn't closed above that trend line before, by the way, guys. It was always touches. So there was some nervousness there. But I still took the puts. I just didn't take them as big as I wanted to. And had I would have cleaned right up. So you had this, right? So we have that trend line. We also have the monthly bearish divergence on the RSI, lower lows on the RSI. So everything was pointing to a pull-off. Now, we don't know how big this pull-off is going to be right now, or pullback is going to be. Right now, it's only 3% drop. Will it be a 5%? Will it be a 10%? Will it be 12%? Will it be 20%? Will it take us all the way down to the bottom of this? Who knows? But you gotta, I mean, probabilities say a pullback's coming. So it really should have been no surprise that this pullback was going to happen. Now, let's go into some other charts. Now, let's look at it, and I got to change back from log to, okay, to linear, and we need to make that go to this. Okay, so on the SPY, if you saw my recap last week, you know that we were contained inside, and we've been trading for years inside this parallel, right? Pivot top high, pivot top low, pivot top high, tariff news, drop, over or move past previous all-time highs into the top of the parallel. And now look at this, guys. We did some interesting things here too, right? We closed above the parallel. Okay, we closed even higher. We went even higher. We went even higher. But check out what we didn't do, guys. We did not confirm above the parallel. We did not. We closed below every single time. So even though we have this daily move above the top of the parallel, which signifies a breakout, we did not get confirmation of that breakout. Interesting stuff, guys, and you got to pay attention to those kind of things. So what did we get? We've had down days, massive gap up, massive bearish engulfing candle, oh my God, through the 9 EMA, and then we had a gap down, we had the open, we had the push down, then we had the reattack of it. Looked like things were going to start going to the upside again, and they took us right back down, closed us below these lows here. So really interesting stuff there. All, like I pointed out, we also have this kind of linear divergence. It's just basically like a flat top. It's not as strong as true negative bearish divergence. It's more linear, but still bearish divergence nonetheless. Okay, into the Qs. Okay, same kind of thing, guys. No surprise here. We're trading inside this parallel. We've been inside this parallel. We attacked the median line on the tariffs, went through it, went all the way down, went into all new time highs, did the same exact same thing here, guys. We closed above it. Now, in the case of the Qs, and this is what kind of got me nervous on just the market in general, meaning, is this time going to be different? Are we going to continue to all new time highs, and are we going to close higher and bust out of the parallel? Well, the reason I even gave it any glimpse of consideration, guys, is this. So you can see we closed above the parallel here, and then we confirmed right here. Now, it was an ever so slight confirmation, and I should have read more into that. Got that confirmation there. So we have confirmation that we broke out of the parallel in the Qs, okay? So that by virtue of that next close right there, that is confirmation. However, now we have a rejection, and we have a rejection back inside. So this is a nuanced thing that you got to pay attention to too. Now, because this closed on the parallel line, we have this confirmation inside. We would need to close below this low, guys, to get confirmation here of this low candle that we're back in definitively inside this parallel. So we're going to see what happens on Monday and Tuesday next week. You know, before, again, and the idea behind this is before closing back outside of this to invalidate this close inside, because it will just basically reset. If we get another close above this, then you're looking for a close above that candle. However, if we get closes inside this range, it's not a confirmed move. Does that make sense, guys? It really has to close below the low of this candle to be a confirmed move back inside this parallel. So that means if we get a close here, we get a close here, we're still waiting for confirmation. Essentially, all we would be doing is building a bearish flag. Okay, we'd build bearish consolidation this way. We could get all the way back here. We just don't want to close above this again, because then it would reset and then we'd be kind of in limbo mode. So let's see what we get. But yeah, that's the Qs. Here's the move I'm kind of looking for. And let me go back to the SPY too. Same kind of thing, right? You have this breakout of the previous all-time highs, but we never had a back test. This was not a back test. So naturally, you know, I think the first thing it's going to want to do is going to re-attack this. And then can we go higher from here? Sure. And can we even go higher for here? Sure. So the first test is going to be this 610 level, right? This 6, or is it 613? 613.39. That will be our first test, and we'll have to see how it reacts from here. But there's no reason to think that we will bounce from here. But will we put in these all new time highs, and will we break out of this channel? That's what we don't know, right? I do think we're going to bounce from here. There's been way too much selling pressure and way too much exuberance and bullishness in the market, buy the dippers, all those things. I do think we're going to bounce from here. So this is going to be our first test. So same thing on the Qs, right? We're going to re-attack this line, which also aligns with the 50-day MA. That this is the 150, right? So re-attack these previous all-time highs, and do we bounce from there, right? The thought is yes, but if we break down through this, then we're going to have to start looking at lower levels, right? 150-day would probably be the next area. This visible range, high-profile area would all in here in this demand zone, right? This massive demand zone. So where will it stop? We'll see next week. We're going to have some interesting things, but here we had it, you know, the bearish divergence there. So getting into the IWM, as I mentioned last week, we had, you know, this massive cup and handle. We had the breakout. We had the back test. We had the move into the supply zone, which is up here. However, we were rejected. We were building some nice consolidation, some structure, but then we fell through it. So where do we find ourselves today? Interesting to see, though. This is super good to see, in my opinion. You know, we went through the 50-day MA. But then we closed with this nice kind of hammer candle. So, you know, will we get a bounce from here? Will we re-attack the underbelly of this this consolidation range? It looks probable from this, but we'll have to see. Will they just take us down? Will we gap down? Will we touch this? I'll tell you what, if we get back to this retest zone of this this inverse head and shoulders, I'll be a buyer here, hardcore. I like, if we come right into this, I like this area, this 209.35 area, especially after the hammer candle from last week, or from Friday, especially with how the market sold off. Okay, next one up is the RSP, guys. This is the equal weighted S&P 500. You can see the RSP never made new all-time highs, right? It did not. It did not. And in fact, the last several days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 have been sell-off days, which could have given us indication, and did to some degree for me, that the gap up on the SPY was going to be sold into, and it was, right, on the SPY. That was massively sold into on that day, on Thursday. I mean, come on, created that bearish engulfing candle. Just absolutely craziness. So had you been paying attention to the RSP, that would have given you some indication of that potential happening. But same kind of thing here, right? On the broader index, on the RSP equal weighted, we had the same thing as the IWM. So it gives us some positive hope. RSI is kind of down at the bottom into oversold area. So we'll see what it does. But if it comes right in this 150, good opportunity to get into it and for a day trade, maybe a swing trade. So next up, that was the indices. Now let's quickly go through the Mag 7. Amazon. So it was obviously in this massive grind up. We had this inverse head and shoulders. It broke out. It retested. Now the inverse head and shoulders look not very clean, but it is what it is. Retested the 150-day. It went right through these moving averages. Closed actually back below it, but never confirmed. So that was a little bear trap right there. That was cool to see. I played that. And then we had this nice move up, but then we had these sell days, and then on earnings, it got smacked. It got absolutely smoked, but where did it close? Right at the neckline of the inverse head and shoulders. Cool stuff there. So where does it go from here? Do we get a reaction like this? I'd actually drawn this on here before this even happened. I drew it over here thinking we were going to get this retrace, hopefully. We never got it, just kept going, but then we got it on earnings. So will it do this? Will it take this path, and will we move into all new time highs, or will we start building bearish structure right here and then break down? You know, will it do something like this? You know, I don't know. It depends on really how the market goes, but could do something like this, guys, and then be looking for some of these gap fills down here. So this was massive sell volume, guys, massive sell volume. And again, we had divergences here. So we had divergences really across all the stocks. Tesla. All right, we are in this tightly formed triangle, and triangles, if you know anything about triangles, you know they can break either way. They honestly can break either way. And I don't subscribe to either side of it being any more probable than the other. So we're in this tight triangle, A, B, C, D, E. Look here, we have they closed us actually right below it on Fridays, but we did have a little pull. We were even lower. So my thought on this is we are going to break down from it and attack this zone here and then go higher from there. So that's kind of how I see Tesla. That's primary pathing. Could it break out and go to the upside just as easy? Absolutely. But this is kind of what I would be looking for. I had this drawn on here for a while now. I'm in a Tesla long position. It's one of my largest holdings actually. And I have covered calls, so I've sold calls expecting it to kind of go down into this range. So I will be very, very happy if we reattack the bottom of this support. So that's what I got for you on Tesla. From a day trading perspective, I'd stay away from it. From a swing trading perspective, I'd stay away from it. Just again, it could go either way. So there you go. Amazon, we already did. Talked about that. I don't know why it's up there twice. Apple. Let's look at Apple. So this is a shame. Apple broke out of this kind of triangle look, had confirmation, was building this absolutely bullish structure on the daily, even on the weekly. I mean, it was so tight and it was so nice before we had this close last week and this just abomination of this pattern. I was so sad because one, I'm long Apple. Two, I actually bought some calls thinking this would play a catch-up trade. And no, absolute smackdown, lost money on that one. So that's unfortunate, still long the position. But what do we know about triangles? On the breakdown of them, when they fail, or on something like this, where it fails to the downside, you can expect it to come and test the middle point of the triangle. So this apex right here. So I could see Apple, especially after this candle, oof, nasty. I can see us reattacking this, and from here I hope. It's my hope that the market corrects and we get a nice movement, we get a bounce off of here, but we'll see. I do not want to see it break down lower. That would be really bad for Apple, and that would put Apple into some really treacherous territories to the downside. So we do not want to see that happen. We want to see this, but we will stay tuned and watch this play out. Next up, Microsoft. Okay, like the other Mag 7, framed and has been trading inside this parallel. It had the 1 touch, the 2 touch, the 3 touch, had the consolidation without any pullbacks. I mean, the Microsoft chart has been absolutely insane, guys. It's just been crazy. This is unprecedented to see these types of moves and these types of stocks in the Mag 7 just add the market cap they add on a daily basis. But it did what it did. It consolidated here on earnings, it gapped up, then it had a massive sell down, then it had another massive sell down. So are we going to fill this gap? In my opinion, 100%. We're going to fill that gap. Are we going to, and this had bullish divergence too, by the way, and then it was kind of invalidated here, but you can still draw it from here to here, and it's still good. It just took out this one. So I want to show you this too. This is interesting. So had it gone through it and went and consolidated or went to the top of this, that actually would have been a bullish sign. But the fact that it went through it so decisively and back into this just shows that was a fake out and an RSI overthrow. And what do I mean by that? Because I want to explain myself. So on NVIDIA, if you look back at the NVIDIA chart, you see how we had this bearish divergence. Then we went up through it, and then we back tested it. Okay, and then from there we went much higher. Well, same kind of thing on the Microsoft chart that I was just showing you. So let me go back to it. Where's Microsoft? Sorry about that. Oh, it's the one I'm on. Let us switch windows. So yeah, so what I was explaining is the same kind of thing. If it would have just back tested right there, we could have had hope this was going higher. But given this scenario and given how this unfolded, then I'm definitely thinking we come into here, and likely we come back into this this parallel, and probably go back in. I mean, we're definitely coming in here. Do we do something like this? Do something like this maybe, and then come down? I don't know, but I would be very skeptical and careful on Microsoft. Keep in mind, guys, you still have this open gap on the daily from the previous earnings back at 333 or 393. So I think there's a very good chance we start coming in and retesting these previous all-time highs into these levels here, especially kind of with how that's going down. Okay, next up, NVIDIA. I know I switched to that to show you the RSI example because that's always a really good RSI example. But same kind of thing, guys. We were framed and contained trading inside this parallel. We've been in this parallel since back in 2022, and massive just it's respected the parallel so well. It had this throw over on tariffs, obviously, and my major support. That was an unbelievable buy area if you picked it up there like we did. And then it just has been nonstop all the way from here all the way in. Now it's surprising that NVIDIA did not get to the top of this parallel, guys. So surprising, it really is that it didn't get to the top of that at 187. It stopped about at 182, 83. So will we still get to the top? Possible. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, especially if the semis recover. But we got into this demand zone. Which was overhead supply. So here's where we're at. Traded through it. Traded through this resistance, which was a supply zone, and now it is a demand zone because it flipped, right? So we confirmed above it. Now it flipped into demand. So I actually should mark this green, guys. I'm going to do that. It is no longer support. Oh, for whatever reason my chart won't let me. I need to reset it. Anyways, that is now green. Should be green. That's a demand zone. Will we build consolidation, or will we come down to the next one, or will we reattack this median line? Really depends on how the market reacts. So this is one you just really got to watch the price action to see where it's going next. But these are the levels. So expect support in here. Expect support in here, expect support in this 158 range, and obviously at the median line at the previous all-time high. So let me put that in there as well. You can expect support right there as well. If we come into it like this, especially if we come into it fast, this would be an unbelievable buy zone. This would be a great level. If we can sell hard into this and go right to 150s, low 153. Love that area, guys. So keep that on your radar. All right, next up, Google. Okay, framed inside this parallel, no different than the others. Touch here, tariff news, and we've been in this just kind of move, grind higher, and then we came into this supply zone at the top, and we rejected. Right, we didn't make it through it. And now we're at the bottom end of this demand zone, probably going to reattack down into these lower levels, into the 184s and possibly the high 170s. So keep your eye out on that, and same kind of thing. If we get the opportunity in a straight sell down to the median line, down to this region in the 170s, in my opinion, my humble opinion, great buy right in here. Okay, so keep an eye on that. I'm going to draw another box for y'all. And we're going to put that right there. Let me frame that up properly. Move that over. All right. So again, if it got down in here quickly, like right to there, boom, that would be beautiful. Sells through those. Swing trades, starting position, in my opinion, all day long. Okay. Next up, out of the Mag 7, I quickly want to put MSTR on your radar because we have some interesting things going on here. If you believe in Bitcoin and you believe in where Bitcoin's going, and we're not going to lose price action there and fall back into the 80s and 90s, then how can you not love this MSTR chart with the exception of this Friday candle close? What the heck, man? I don't know what that is. It shouldn't have done that. So that worries me, okay? So we had this breakout, right? We had this bearish or bullish structure. We had this bull flag. We broke out, got up to the top up here, had bullish structure there as well. It failed, sold down into it, created some bearish structure now on top of this area here. Bearish structure, sold down, came up, retested the moving averages, the 20 and the 9, or the 9, and didn't make it to the 20. And then from there, it looked like it may have found some footing and we were up going higher, but no. On Friday, look what it did, gap down, and then sold down to the lows, okay? So don't like that at all. However, we are coming into this median line right here. We're coming to the 150-day and the median line, which also gives us this support here. So this previous support there, right at that top there. So we have this support here in the 343. I love this area for a buy, okay? Absolutely love this area as a buy. I'm going to be adding to my position here. I've covered calls that I sold it. So thank God I did that up here. So I don't mind this move down because the call premiums on MSTR are juicy and you really get paid to sell them. But yeah, I don't like the price movement doing what it's doing. I don't like it taking out this low here on this candle. So this doesn't look very, very good. So there's a really good chance that we're coming back and retesting this median line, possibly even this support line, this diagonal support. Okay, we have this diagonal support down even below it. So it could come into here, this 332 range, 343. Anywhere in here is an unbelievable buy zone in my opinion, especially if you believe in Bitcoin that we're going higher. Okay, so that's MSTR for you guys. And plus, look at this. So you have this air pocket here in the visible range, in the visible volume profile, but then you have really, really good support, guys, right here. So this is an unbelievable buy area right there, right in that median line. Love it, love it, love it. I'll be adding to my position there. And let me just put a little circle on that for you. So that whole little zone right there is, come on, stop. Right at the 50-day, oh, make it a little bit bigger. Anywhere in there, I mean, this just really comes down to how aggressive do you want to be. Do you want to buy before the median line, even though we're probably going to the median line, or do you want to, or do you even want to wait and be real conservative and wait for the 330s, because it's likely probably getting there too, especially if the market continues to sell. Okay, guys, so that's MSTR. And RSI, by the way, is getting to oversold. Stochastics are curling up. If we get right there on a wick, that's a good one. Sorry to keep repeating myself, but I do like it. Okay, Celsius. I had done a video on this one, and it came right back into our zone, and I love this. So, I anticipated that we'd get a pullback to the 45 area. We did that, went a little bit lower. It wicked down into 43.89, and then look what it did on Friday. It closed right at the breakout. So that exhibits relative strength to the market. So I like this one to continue its uptrend higher. But the market's the market. We have, if we have a sell-off, all bets are off, right? If this is going to be this will not have a shield on it, meaning even though it has this bullish price structure and it looks like it should resume its ascent to 51 area, if the market sells off and we keep getting this massive correction, this one might not make it. It might not do what it's supposed to do based on the technical schools. But it did show relative strength. I still like this chart. RIVN. This one broke down. This one you know, if you believe in the RIVN story and kind of all they're doing with, you know, commercial and all of that, then it's, you know, if you look at this through a bullish lens of this was a descending wedge, it broke out, it confirmed, it created a triangle, it failed the triangle.
11 a.m.
However, it's coming back in to retest the breakout. So that's a bullish look. If you are a counter trend trader, it's not even really a counter trend trader, but if you know what to look for in terms of a break and a retest, this area right here at low 12s is a perfect entry. You have support here, you have support at the bottom of the parallel, so you can set your risk or your stop out, you know, underneath here and have a really decent stop out for these price targets, $16, $17 at the top end of the parallel, right? What would that look like? It would look like something like this. Sorry about that. I don't know what just happened. It would look like this. So if you were to kind of take this right here, you set your stop out there. Your first target is the median line. That is a, what's that? Why can I not see that? Oh, Jesus. Sorry about that. A 2.7, almost 3-to-1 return. So that's a good risk-reward ratio, 100%. And then if you dollar cost averaged, you know, you could even get a more exponential return. Again, but you have to believe in the RIVN story. You have to believe that that this thing's going higher. And I do, based on these lower, higher highs and lower lows. So you have your lower lows here so far, and you have your higher highs ever so slightly, but still. So it's giving us that confidence that it is. It's going to move higher, especially with this. This was an impulsive move back down. So I'm cautiously bullish on this, guys. So that's kind of my position on it. Yeah, I'll be taking a position in here and putting those stops in place. So that's RIVN for you. Unity, I had put this also on your radar earlier. I like this bullish accumulation. I like the breakout. I like the impulsive moves. I like the breakout and retest. So you have, it built this, went high to $39, then sold off, bearish consolidation, sold off. So all this really is an ABC correction wave. I like this area here. Remember I had said there's two buy levels, kind of one right here, because it could have just reversed and went up. And in the second level would be here. This would be for the aggressive traders, and this would be for you more conservative traders. But yeah, coming into this area also exhibited some relative strength. So if we get into this $30, basically 30.07 area, I have my alert set. I like it. So that's Unity Software. And then the last one is, I just wanted to show you guys UNH. Okay, so UNH is being just nasty. I know there's a lot of talk out there about it being value and this and that, but guys, this is bearish structure. This is terrible. This is bearish consolidation, and then we just broke down from it. We not only took out this low, but we confirmed below it. I wouldn't touch this, guys, until this COVID low. This is your COVID low right here. I would not touch it until 194, and even then I would be very, very cautious, and you got to know going in you're probably going to have to manage your trade. You probably will get a bounce off of that, but long-term hold, no. I think it's going lower. It's there's something wrong with this stock, guys. So just I put this on your radar only because people are talking about it right now, but yeah, this one does not look good. So that's what I got for you. I hope you guys have an incredible, unbelievable weekend. I hope you found value in this analysis. If you did, please do me a favor, like, thumbs up, give me some love on that front. Trying to build this community, trying to grow my channel. Comment below if there's any tickers you'd like to see. And then also be sure to follow me on TikTok. So I'm on there posting opportunities, posting entries. I'm doing giveaways, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, guys, until the next one, thanks and take care. Cheers.